special guest for you tonight.
Hello, we've been expecting you.
This is not a test. Your government and corporate overlords have implemented new measures for your own health and safety. We are just following orders.
Everything is going to be fine.
I'd like to introduce...
Welcome everyone to another If by Whiskey.
Everything's
I fall
going to be
asleep right
fine.
before we start. I fall asleep before we start. So
It
such a
lulls
good
you to
intro.
sleep, but we come back in with some energy.
We come back in hard.
Coming in hot. It's If by Whiskey. Welcome everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy
Is
Monday,
anyone
everybody.
here yet? Oh, we got 3 people.
I don't know. We got 3 people on here. We got a
Three's
few on the
already.
rums.
It's a good
Yeah,
start.
we
It's a
got
good start.
people
You
on
got
here.
to catch that intro. I'm
The
still
intro
you
is
came
bomb.
in before the show. I was jamming out to it.
Yeah, and the good news is if you go onto the Rumble, first of all, everybody go onto Rumble and follow If by Whiskey because you get to watch the intro on a loop until it starts. It's pretty cool. And there's no countdown. Jason, thank you very, very much for making that awesome intro, man. It's so cool. I catch myself listening to it every once in a while. I'm not gonna lie.
You're very welcome. Also, check out our new website, ifbywhiskey.com. Pretty nice.
.com, everybody.
Pretty
It's
nice.
coming. Yeah, we're gonna have to put that up in the little banner here. We'll have to put one up there. But ifbywhiskey.com. It is a redirect right now. It's been a comedy of errors. I screwed up a lot to try to not get our website up and running. I did a lot. I made sure that we ran through every obstacle we possibly
You
could.
did your best. Yes. We hit all the
Really
obstacles we could.
Yeah. From a quick 50,000 foot perspective, I logged on with the wrong email address. So I forgot to add podcast to our email address. So that was like, hey, I just need to add podcast to our email address. I just shelled out $250. And they're like, please submit your driver's license and your car registration. And I'm like, I'm literally fucking logged in, dude. I'm literally logged in with you right now. Like you can see who I am. Nope. How many days? That took 2 days. Me and here I am typing with my fat sausage fingers at Jason. He's like, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just typing a lot and my words don't make sense.
They were words.
And then,
I'll give you that.
And then we tried to get the domain and transfer domain, but no, you can't do that for 60 days. But then I'm just trying to manage the DNS. So I ask other people, I just can't make it happen. So we have a redirect. It looks really like gibberish right now, but I promise you, I assure you it's us. So welcome.
But you can still type in ifbywhiskey.com. It'll take you there. You'll get to the right spot.
It will take you there. We've had some hiccups, but it will take you there.
Working on uploading all our archived episodes, as well as maybe getting some merch going.
I think we do. We're working on some merch. I think we're going to throw that first one we had in the bin. I've been messing around with it, but I feel like it offends everybody.
The FUBI. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, my FUBI shirt. People are like, what's buy on the back? Are you a FU?
Yeah, why are you saying FU to buy people?
Yeah, it was very interesting. So actually, I was like, it offends everybody. Maybe we should make it. But
yeah, no one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Yeah, and it won't cost it won't cost you nothing. Except for the cost of it.
Hey, look who's here. William, welcome back. We're finishing up some AI stuff today. I don't know why I didn't get him back on. We should have done that.
I guess we should have, but you know what?
Blame our planning. Poor planning on our
part.
I
love our guests, but welcome, Zach. I love our guests, but we do have to have like some sans guests. We got to keep that thing going. There's a lot of ways to juggle with Pear coming up. We had a bunch of people beforehand with Frank before that. And we even had Howard Bloom and all these other people with even Agnanos, right?
Chloe Anagnos.
Chloe, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I just saw her. She was at some cool like farmers market thing over the weekend on Facebook. It was pretty neat. She was.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But guys, hey, if you didn't see our last week's episode with William, we talked about AI. He had an awesome kind of proposal or idea about how to get through the tough times when everyone starts losing their jobs because of AI. If that happens, we'll say. If and when. So it was great. But this will be a standalone episode as well. So you don't have to go watch it now. But if you haven't, go check it out.
Right, and specifically the end is where William showed this, like the charts that he had made up, and it is very compelling. I think we're going to touch a little bit on that, but since then, even just in this week, a million things have happened. So like once again, we're already behind the time just even planning this show like on a daily basis.
AI's gone through 3 more iterations. It's taken 1 million more jobs.
Chat GPT 82.6.
I heard it might be even burning some flags.
I heard something about that. We'll have to get to that. One. So, first of all, before we continue, is Terry on here at all? Did she make it on? I don't know if she jumped on, but
I haven't seen Terry yet.
It's Terry's birthday. Terry's birthday.
We got Chuck $. Welcome, buddy.
Oh, nice. There we go. Oh, you put him up. Sorry, I took you down when you put him up.
I hit him down. Put him up. Knock him down.
That's Mr. Constitutionalist, isn't it? Isn't that Randall Terry's picture? Looks like a picture of Randall Terry.
Don't ask me. I don't know things.
Looks
I'm
like
just here.
Looks like constitutionalist Randall Terry. Anyway, he plays a mean guitar. He has a pretty fun debate. He's a fun, interesting guy. Anyway, so welcome, Chuck $. Welcome once again, William and Zach and everybody. So I think it's time, sir. We've already got 20 people on the X.
One more comment from Zach. Listen to last week's If by Whiskey on AI with William, and then go check out the Legacy Right Weekly Legacy with Greg Lang on Law Zero. Both episodes correlate with each other. Yeah, good one.
100.
Go check out the Legacy Right, everybody. Our unofficial sponsor here.
Absolutely, and check that out because William and Legacy and Andrew all collaborate on podcasts as well.
I think it's time. What do you think?
I think it's time.
It's time for that moment that sends the lizard people running back to the sewers. It scrambles the CIA spy network, and it alters our base reality. Yes, folks, it's our very own whiskey rebellion, known only as the Simulation Sip.
All you need is a cup, a mug, a goblet, a horn, a flask, or an ancient alien thermos filled with any beverage Big Pharma hasn't recalled yet. Could be coffee, tea, ivermectin smoothies, even whiskey. Dealer's choice.
So, join us now as we raise our glasses in unison, confusing the AI overlords, forestalling the next CDC directive, and maybe, just maybe, waking up one more NPC. Here we go. So, welcome back to our little glitch in the Matrix. This is If by Whiskey. We're talking more AI today. Talking about not only is it going to take your jobs, Randall Terry. Good guess. Welcome, buddy.
Good guess. Total stab in the dark.
Educated guess. Anyway, what was I saying? It's not just taking your job, but it might be destroying your mind. So we're going to look at that too. A lot of interesting stuff going on. We've got some clips for you. We've got our non-expert commentary. We've never been to AI, but we're still going to talk about it.
I've never been a burning flag either, but I think we're going to talk about that real quick. So today, there's been some kind of executive order, something that Trump's signing is there's going to be a year jail time if you burn the American flag, which immediately compelled me to put a post that says, in my 50 plus years on this earth, not once have I ever thought about burning the American flag until now. Yeah. Don't tell baby what to do. Don't put baby in the corner.
I know, right? How much of the backlash is just being contrarian and just saying, hey, you told me not to, now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it even harder.
How is this not Streisand affected? How is this absolutely just, it's the most ridiculous thing, man. You literally, you support it. Support flag burning and it goes away, government. Do you have any idea how stupid you look every time you oppose something nowadays?
Ooh, there's a big storm outside happening right now. I don't know if it's hitting you yet.
We had one, literally 2 lightning storms directly over our house, woke us up at 2 a.m. last night in the morning, and literally not a single peep since. And then just like rolling thunder, it was like twice. That was it. And like it wasn't like a whole storm. It was very odd. Was very odd. Stay safe.
God heard us talking about burning the American flag, and he did not like it. We have to back his boy, Donald Trump.
Yeah. So we need to talk about this. I need to hear your thoughts, man. We saw people like going, "Oh, how dare you? This if you think the flag represents." It's like this is not about the American flag. It's you telling me I can't express myself. That's 100% what this is. So I'd love to hear your thoughts if it is more symbolic. Maybe it is deeper than I think.
Yeah, it's well, Trump's been on a real tear with bad policies lately. So he says, yeah, 1 year, up to 1 year, or
I
if
think
you
it's
go
1
read
year,
their
like
press, if you go read
regardless,
their press
like a flag.
release on the White House, it says the maximum extent permissible by the Constitution and state laws. We will use any state, local, or federal law to get you whatever we can. He equates it, or they. I'm assuming he didn't write this himself, but whoever did, they equate it with inciting violent riot. So burning the American flag incites violence. And if you watch him talk about it, I did pull that clip, but I haven't ended to play it. It's like 3 minutes long. He says, "Oh, people go crazy. People go crazy. You burn the American flag. Nothing else. You could burn a piece of paper, but the American flag, they go crazy and it causes violence." It's just ridiculous because, like, why is this happening? I mean, why do we think people are here burning the American flag? Do you have any? What do you think?
I I think there's multiple schools of thought, right? I do think there are anti-Americans in America.
Of
I do
course,
think
yeah.
that's a problem. I mean, in a weird way, it's a problem, but it's like they just need to not be like part of the society, like technically part of us. Then it's fine, but as long as they don't infringe upon us, we're good. But we know people hate Americans. Okay, that's one thing. But then you've got true Americans that are like who have seen the difference. But I'm not burning the flag as a symbol of the effigy of what it represents. I'm
Mhm.
burning the flag because you just told me that my First Amendment rights don't mean shit. And I'm here to tell you that they fucking do mean shit to me. That's what I'm here to tell you. Nothing more. To think this means something. If you told me I couldn't burn, obviously you can't do damage, but it's like if you couldn't burn a sign that said USA on it or something. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Has nothing to do with the message. It's literally the ability to express it. Has nothing to do for me.
Yeah.
Now I might be a little bit on the outskirts, but like I think you and I are able to express why we have an issue that's not I'm a Democrat and I just think Trump's being evil and it's Trump's flag. Or like it's not that to me, you know. So, but I
Mhm.
really want to hear how your thoughts are about that because we are two very different generations. And I came from that place that burning a flag for me back in the day, I probably would have fought somebody over it. Now we did it in like Boy Scouts and stuff because that was a proper way to dispose of a flag. But I'm talking about like in a protesty kind of way, right? Whatever. So.
Yeah. No, I remember that. It was, yeah, like in Boy Scouts and stuff, they taught you if the flag touches the ground, you're supposed to burn it out of like respect or something. So does that apply? Are those people going to jail? Nah,
And they say
probably
something
not.
about inciting, but it's like once again, who deems inciting? The same people who are the ones putting you in the fucking jail.
Mhm.
So like they propagate their own rules to write the rules to make the things that they want to do, right? Like we've seen it with
Mhm.
crime, we've seen it with drugs, we've seen it with guns, we've seen it, right? And how many people are disproportionately affected by these laws to do that for the effect of getting people incarcerated, you know?
Yeah, well, we had an interesting comment on X today from Thane. He pointed us to somebody saying that you either, if you see this as bad, then you probably believe the flag represents the government. If you see it as good, you probably think the flag represents the American people. So is there any truth to that? Do you think that's right?
I do think people symbolize or symbologize the flag.
Mhm.
In this case, for me, I can specifically say it's not any of that. And I did tell Thane, I did respectfully disagree, but I hope we talk about it tonight, which we can. So, which is great. But basically what it is it's the freedom of expression itself. It has nothing to do with what the flag represents. It's not I'm not burning the flag because it represents the government. I'm burning the flag because the government just told me that I'm not allowed to burn the flag.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you could look at this from a property um, perspective, right? Like, is this my flag? Did I buy it? Then I have the right to do with it whatever I want. If I go
There
and
are
burn the
caveats.
flag that's
Yeah.
sitting on the courthouse or down the street in my neighborhood, then yeah, that's a problem because that's someone else's property and I've destroyed it. Right? They
Right.
didn't
And
want that.
if the flag I burned caught some timbers and caught a house on fire, I'm culpable.
Mhm.
I'm responsible. Right.
Yeah.
So like once again, people like think this freedom shit is just like, oh, Wild West freedom shit. No, all of it comes with responsibility. And in a society where everybody is like prepared for this stuff, it's almost self-correcting, like the market, I think, would be. Don't you think?
Absolutely. So I'm picturing, because the people in support of this are just like, oh yeah, once you light a flag in the middle of a crowded street, then people start going crazy, and then the next thing you know, they're raiding the Capitol building, right? And it's like, well, hey guys,
Which Trump pardoned everybody for.
yeah, hey
By the
guys,
way,
didn't you think that was a justified action against a tyrannical government?
Well,
What are we doing here?
I think, right. Once again, January 6th is nuanced too, right? There were some bad actors that did some bad stuff. The people who did physical harm, physical damage, those things, once again, these rights come with responsibilities, people. And that's the point, is I think that's why we speak so strongly about this, is like, we want those freedoms, but we also understand that we're going to protect them and nurture them the right way.
Yeah, right. William said, I heard that they will allow you to burn the US flag, but not the Israeli flag. Has anyone else heard this? I don't know if you're
Only
joking
in
or not,
America.
but the Israeli flag is 10 years. The US flag will get you 1, but Israeli flag's
right.
10. So you better watch out.
They take you as a slave.
Yes.
Instant deportation to Gaza.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway,
so we had to talk a little bit about the flag.
We're both against this, right? It's definitely a violation of free speech. It should not be allowed. If that does incite violence, you charge the people that do violence, right?
That's correct.
And
now,
if you're in a country where so many people want to burn your flag, maybe you got to think about, like, what are you doing wrong that happened? And some of them are just stupid people that have been brainwashed into believing that everything white people and Americans do is bad, which is not true. But there are a lot of people that legitimately have good reasons to hate the United States government. And my comment on X towards Thane was, I think that the people who own that symbol are the ones that are going to put you in jail for desecrating it. So that was my thoughts about it.
Yeah, they kind of it's like Trump licked it, so it was his.
Yeah, they've taken ownership.
The American
whether
flag's
you like
mine.
it or not.
Yeah, if he licks the stars and stripes, they're his. So yeah, he kind of took ownership. But no, I mean, it is a very interesting conversation. And once again, the emotional response, and I got a very interesting one on Facebook. I got, don't have us ex-military or military service people defend the flag, Mark. And I'm like, that's a good point, but you're not defending the flag when you go out there on the field. Aren't you defending like the American ideals? The flag may be a representation, to your point, what Thane was kind of saying, but it is not what you are fighting for. You're fighting for your family. And first of all, thank you for doing it. I was not able to. I wanted to serve. Thank you for serving and protecting those things that we hold dear. Because also sorry that you got bamboozled to fight wars overseas without declaration of war.
I'm sorry this happened to you.
It's
but
nuanced,
I'm sorry.
right?
Even though you served 10 years in Afghanistan, you're sending you to jail because you burned a flag.
So I hear that we are going to talk about AI. What do you think about that, Jason?
I think that's a great idea, Mark.
Excellent. Let us get started on those things, such as these processes that we are going to talk about today.
Excellent. Let's do it. Let's begin. Here we go.
All right, man. Where are we?
Hey, so we talked about AI.
Was way faker than that guy was. It's so fucking crazy.
Acosta. Yeah. Again, go watch the episode. You'll get the reference from last week. But yeah, we had some other clips we didn't get to. Did you see that Elon Musk sharing his AI companion on X? That was a few days ago.
The hot girl with the thing? Or is
that was the anime girl? Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like, so happy that you're so happy to see me. I'm just like barely put on my clothes just now.
Yeah. So we
Mhm.
talked a lot about the economics of the thing of what AI is going to do, but it's also kind of messing with people's heads, and that to me is a little bit more scary than any of the economic stuff because it's offloading a bunch of things, a bunch of tasks that your brain would normally have to do to kind of function in the world. Like we're talking about really basic stuff. And if you're not doing those, your brain loses it. They go away. And we're actually gonna hear from a couple of experts on the Diary of CEO, the Diary of a CEO podcast.
Absolutely.
He had a couple of brain experts on there, and they talked about this. So yeah, I pulled some clips. It's Dr. Daniel Amen and Terry
Common, yeah.
Sinowski. Amen and Terry Sinowski. I don't know how to pronounce
Yes,
these
sir.
names.
Good enough for me.
He didn't even say their last names. I think the host, he didn't even try.
No, Steven didn't even try
He
because
said
got a
Dr.
British
Daniel and
accent. He
Dr.
doesn't look
Terry.
like a
So
fool.
we can go with that.
So this is interesting. So if anyone does get a chance, go watch the TED Talk with Dr. Amen about the brain scans. It is one of the most fascinating TED Talks of all. I don't even want to spoil it for you. It's worth it. It's worth the 15, 18 minutes or whatever it is. But Dr. Amen's a
Mhm.
genius about brain scans and everything. And you
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell, it's funny when you watch this, not just him here, how much hubris do these people have? Holy shit, dude.
Oh,
Now,
man. Yes.
they live up to their hype, but God, do they tell us what hype they are? Like, is it weird?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
is it weird to me? Like, it's like I'm perfect, therefore I must show that I'm perfect or something. And you're like, what? It was weird to me. What were your thoughts on that in general before I hit this?
Oh, yeah. I've seen these guys. My wife shows me her TikToks, and I've seen these guys talking. At least one of them. Is it Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Daniel one. He does all these clips, these videos talking about, oh, the brain does this and that. Very, I mean, smart guy, obviously, kind of knows what he's talking about. But I sensed that right away that he was just like, I'm the shit. Everything
There's a
I
little
know
hubris.
is right.
And that's dangerous, but I do think he's the type of guy who double checks because of his hubris. He knows that he has to get it right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it might be like a double-edged sword, not just always believes that he's right. I think he also goes through the work. So all right,
Right.
I'm gonna hit it here, sir. You ready?
Let's go.
I have frankly become pretty addicted to using ChatGPT and some of these other AIs and large language models every single day, all the time. And then this study came out from MIT. It was 54 participants who were recruited from 5 universities in Boston, MIT, Harvard, et cetera, et cetera. And they had the participants split into 3 groups, had them writing different essays over, I think it was 4 months. One group used ChatGPT, one group used Google, and one group had no tools. And they had to write these 4 essays over a period of time. And astonishingly, MIT found a 47% collapse in activity and brain connections when people wrote with ChatGPT compared with writing unaided. EEG scans showed the weakest overall brain activity in the ChatGPT group. The no tool group, who didn't use anything, they didn't use Google or ChatGPT, lit up the widest neural networks, and Google search was second. After using ChatGPT, participants couldn't reliably quote their own essays minutes later, and their memory scores plunged. ChatGPT users felt little or no ownership over the text that they had produced and didn't feel like it was their work at all. And when the AI group was forced to write without help in session 4, their brains stayed in low gear, under engagement, showing the cognitive debt lingers even after the tool is taken away.
Muted. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really unexpected, right? If you're not using your brain for certain things, you're gonna expect that it won't be active to do those things. So that's kind of the normal part, right? But then when they put back, or they took it away, right? They gave them the AI, their brain didn't light up like the other ones. Okay, obviously. But when they went back, they could not get the same amount of brain function. That is crazy. That's wild.
And not recalling this stuff. Look, we started a simulation SIP. Our confession, everybody, our simulation SIP started with like an AI, a chat GPT start. We tweaked the fuck out of it. but it did start off with some kind of AI thing to it, and we humanized it for sure. Because what's funny is this: the last 2 weeks we've been talking AI. Somebody sent us an email. I'm like, AI wrote this. Or like ChatGPT wrote this. I forwarded to you going, hey, you want to talk to this guy? And the first comment you say is, AI wrote that email. And I'm like, I thought the same thing. And it's funny because like once you pay attention to it, but you're right, like the atrophy of the brain. Think of it, look, going to the gym, it's the same thing. If you're in the scooter at Walmart, you're gonna get fatter versus walking around at least holding a cart. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I also want to know how they measured this, because how, like, are they looking at are they doing a brain scan at the time?
Yeah, they do brain scans on activity. Yeah, they do those like the diodes and stuff. Amen's work is amazing on the brain scan. His stuff about like the holes in the brain, this like CTE, psychopathy, all this craziness. Like I said, that TED talk of his is it's brilliant. It's actually brilliant.
That's wild. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Or they're going to continue kind of on the same wavelength here. So,
I mean, the one thing you said right off the bat is not just the brain function, like thinking. What about the social aspects? Culture, social. So we start going in our pods and we have our AI girlfriends and boyfriends who tell us all the good stuff we want to hear, blah, 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 and feed us what we want to think and whatever. It's just it's cultural breakdown just as much as, any. Just even without thinking, it's societal breakdown in that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know when I'm like antisocial and I stay home and I don't talk to anybody, like if I work from home that day, definitely my brain is just like blah at the end of the day. It's not getting that interaction, that, the stimulation that it needs from other people. Even though I'm doing like mentally intensive work, it's not the same thing.
Right. But it's a different type of mental work. There's a social. Once again, we talk about IQ, EQ, right? The social stuff's different than the actual brain stuff. And look, we like our solidarity, but we do like that we do exchange ideas, right? Like that's something we do enjoy to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that exchange is more important than often like studying and being right. Sometimes, maybe not all the time, but
more than we give it credit for, maybe.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, they're gonna talk about that a little bit. So let's hit the next one.
All right.
What's this link? This hypothesis you have between the usage of something like ChatGPT and dementia? For someone that doesn't understand the sort of mechanism there around cognitive load and so on, and the studies that support this idea that if you have less cognitive load, you're at high risk of dementia. Can you make that link really clear for me?
So think of it as use it or lose it. The more you use your brain, and new learning is a major strategy to prevent Alzheimer's disease. People who do not engage in lifelong learning have a higher risk, significantly higher. People who do not do as well in school or who drop out of school early have a higher risk of dementia. And so the more you're engaged, the more you engage the neurons in your brain, the stronger they are. And so now we're going to engage them less, and that's a concern.
That's a concern. We're all going to have dementia. I mean, hypothetically, if we're all using this AI stuff to do all our thinking for us, we're not using our brain matter. Use it or lose it, right? That's what he said.
Well, so I'll give you a weird quiz. I'm not trying to trap you, but do you know one of the greatest predictors of like longevity of life is in old people? Like one predictor?
I've heard stuff. I've heard like music is one thing, like playing music.
Grip strength. Actual grip strength. Yeah, because like as old people fall, holding on to stuff as they fall so they don't break hips and stuff, that happens a lot, right? So what happens is, first of all, like the strongest woman isn't even as strong as the weakest man in grip strength. It's one of these weird things where like women are like way at the bottom of this chart thing and men are just like on this top. It's like just this thing, right? Yeah. So what's interesting is if you don't continue to utilize those muscles to grip, you will lose them. The blood doesn't
Mm.
flow to it, just like the blood wouldn't flow to the brain. I mean, it makes total sense. But what's funny is people, you and I would think about that as like causality. Why can't anyone think like 2-3 steps about, okay, if I do this, then what would happen next? Oh, and then what would happen next? And that's like, it's almost like the inner monologue thing is like people can't look 1 step or 2 steps past in a causal sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have questions about it. Like, if you only use those little grip, the grip machine exerciser things that you just hold in your hand, you only did that, would it still correlate? Because I don't think it's just the grip strength. I think it's like being active and moving things around and lifting things and using all
Yes.
your muscles, which your grip helps because you need to grab them, right? But
And one would argue the grip strength might be a result of your general health.
yes, yeah, that's what
Right?
I'm thinking.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a reverse correlation. Right. But once again, what I'm saying is because you stay active, that part of it stays with you. But if
Yeah.
you didn't stay active, you would lose that with it, right? That's kind of the correlation I'm trying to.
yeah, interesting. Now that you say that, it's coming back to me. I didn't use that knowledge, so I lost it.
You asked ChatGPT to talk to you about grip strength.
But I have heard. I was saying music is another thing that keeps people's brains active and helps you avoid dementia. Is like playing the piano or guitar or some instrument, and doing that actively prevents your brain from declining because it just activates different things in your head than you normally use for
It's
just talking
exercise.
yeah. It's mental exercise.
But
Yeah.
look, what we do, honestly, I will say it's kept me sharp in certain ways. We talk about
Mhm.
different topics from multiple angles. We go deep, we go wide. In the last 2 days, I actually finished the Horton Lex Friedman thing. 10.5 hours. I listened to
Oh,
all of
God.
it.
Yeah.
Now, I can't tell you exactly what timestamp he said what. Trust me, I wasn't listening, but I listened to pretty much the whole thing as I was doing stuff. But I was listening and I'm like, damn, this is brilliant. But like
Mhm.
that shit keeps you sharp. You don't have to always know all of it, but you're firing synapses left and right. And like the same thing, the inner monologue thing, that's got to be a firing of synapses that other people don't even utilize. So think like, imagine 30% of people's brain, that portion is completely atrophied. It's non-existent.
Yeah, yeah. And listening to it is good, right? But you're still not interacting. So I found
Right.
like
That's what we do. Right.
when I watch something like that, if I take notes, even if I never look at those notes again, I remember things better because of that action, like putting it into my own words and stuff.
And writing down.
Yeah.
Writing
Right.
it through.
Doing it
I remember
physically.
people used to have memory techniques like the yellow pen was for history and the blue pen was for, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever different color.
Yeah, that's too organized for me. I'm not that. I'm not that type A.
You're autistic. You're organized enough.
It's all in my head. It's all in there. So, this is a little scary, right? So it might not be just that AI creates so much productivity that we can all live lives of leisure and we're on permanent vacation. If that was the case, there's a real chance it could still turn us all into dementia zombies, right? So we have to use our brains. And I think AI could maybe it could possibly create like a optimized stimulation environment that keeps us going in the right way. But I don't know, like a matrix, it could put us in the matrix.
I like the way AI writes, like ChatGPT. I go, wow, I can't believe I put this out. That said, I will take a human's writing over it. And there is a difference. And I can't explain it.
It's so different. And I hate it.
There's difference, right?
Yeah. Like I like what it does when it will tell me information. I'll kind of talk to it and ask certain questions about things and it organizes it in a nice bullet way, but I would never talk like that. I would never write like that. No
Right.
way. It just doesn't
Right.
sound real.
Right. And I know they're getting better, but the large language models they're not the intelligence that we're talking about, that cognitive stuff that we're fearful of really it coming up, right?
Yeah, right.
So you ready for this third clip, sir? Or what do you want to set it
So
up?
this is the upside. To offloading some of our work to AI.
What are your concerns as it relates to this whole generation of young people and older people flooding into these tools, using them on a daily basis, before we understand the long-term consequences.
We can't predict where it's going to end up. And it may take 20 years, right? I think that this is a good start, but the real issue is long-term use. Let me give you an example that is a kind of a miniature example of what we're talking about. Remember when electronic calculators were first introduced? And here we are, it's at least 30 or 40 years later, right? The results are in. It's probably true that when they punch it in, there's less brain activity. But in fact, it's made them more accurate, more productive. You have to look at the risks and the benefits.
So it freed them up. It freed up cognitive space
Right.
for them to do other things. So as I was listening to how you use ChatGPT, you interact with it
Yep.
and elevates what you know. The danger is if you don't interact and you don't keep your brain working.
So that's what we're talking about, right? You have to give something back. It can't just be a one way. Hey, give me all the answers, right? It's just like in school. If you're like, hey, give me the answer book, you don't learn anything. Your brain doesn't do anything. You just copy, paste.
And that's the thing. As soon as we were able to look up dates, kids went, why do I need to know that? I can just look it up. And you're like, yeah, that is a true statement. But memorization in the formation of the brain, I mean, do you remember playing that game memorization with your kids growing up, like as a kid growing up, or perfection, stuff like that? Those were vital for like growth and like being able to cognitively how to think, right? Versus what or whatever. It's like, that's the thing. Now we're looking to this thing that's biased because of whoever put the stuff into it. And then we trust it that it's correct. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. And I think people are really still giving too much credit to AI. As amazing as it is, as much as it can do, it's still not what a lot of people think it is. It's not. You have to check it. There's no way it's just going to give you perfect work. Like, you have to interact with it. You have to mold it. You have to tell it what to do. You have to look at what it says and kind of take that information, give something back, do the interaction, or else you're just going to get shit out of it. So it's not like doing everything for us. It is still a tool to help us do things, and it can be awesome, but it's not intelligence.
And to the point about the offloading, it is true. By having a calculator, you can do many more calculations. But like old guy here, I love doing like tip and stuff on you know, when we're out to dinner and stuff, like, oh, what's 20%? And then I always round up to the next dollar. So it's like a couple different like mini calculations. You know what I mean? Bless you. But like you have Meg, she'd start typing in, you know, the thing. And I'm like, hold on, stop. Let me do 20. Okay, $60 to 12. Okay. 1286. Is that right? Okay. It goes to that, you know, he's like, you got to play with your, like, you have to, once again, that beautiful freedom of not having to do it is like, you still should play with it. And like, it's an exercise. It's literally like lifting weights.
So what if it tells you something wrong? What if it tells you like $100? You got to tip $100 now. You're like, okay, well, that's what it said,
right?
Yeah.
You still have an ID 10T error or a PEPCAC error, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the calculator thing's a good example, right? We don't have to do these mundane things in our heads anymore. We don't have to write it out on paper. So that's been a good step, right? I think everyone probably agrees with that's been a positive development in the technology, right? We don't have to do
I'd
these
argue
long
it
ass
started brain
calculations.
mush. I'd
that?
argue it started brain mush. Okay.
It started
Look,
brain mush.
I went to the Taco Bell. Okay. Yeah. It was $15.71. I gave the kid $21. You know what I want back, right, Jason? You know what I want back. What does he do? He looks at the two bills. He sees the 20's greater than 15. He hands me the $1 back. And I'm like, no, what do I want, Jason?
I forgot the numbers you said already, but
a $5 bill, right? Basically,
I got
right?
what you're going.
So it's like, I want the $5 bill, Chief. Can you give me the $5? I don't want the one and the other ones. I want a $5. Like, it's that kind of weird stuff that you see that happen. That's where the mush that I've experienced it. Have you ever experienced it from that?
Oh yeah, and I also think that's partially due to not using cash anymore. Like no one uses cash. So if you just swipe
True.
your credit card, the cashier never has to think about it. If they had to do cash transactions every time, they'd start figuring it out, but it's just such a rare thing.
I'd argue this was 8 years ago. This is not like yesterday. So I
Yeah.
want to be clear. I'm still living up in Peoria, up in that area. So let me not, it was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, those guys up there. They don't know shit.
Ew. Like, I don't even know how they got to where they got. Yeah, they're just vermin.
How are you alive even?
Yeah, how'd I get through that? I don't know. It's like Mad Max up there.
No, not you, them. How do they live?
Oh, how they
Low
got
intelligence.
Yeah, I don't know how it. Well, they have a lot of farming.
I'm sorry. We love
Smells
you,
like shit.
Peoria. We're just kidding.
Yeah, we love you. We love everybody. And welcome, everyone. Welcome up to another If by Whiskey. We're just continuing our conversation about flag burning. No, wait, actually AI. Flag burning came up, but we are talking about AI again. First of all, Will.i.am, he was on yesterday or last week, was so helpful in adding so many things. You want to share a couple of the comments that he put up there, sir?
Yeah, he said, I like the idea of using AI to increase our individual knowledge and that being a part of our incomes to replace UBI. Yeah, keep UBI out as much as we can because
F UBI.
the thing is, AI will get better, and then you don't have to be super smart to get it to do things. If you just have an idea, you can probably use it to work out any details that you need to. And I think he mentioned this last time, like not everyone's going to become some big successful entrepreneur because of this, because not everyone has that. Like, I don't even know if I have it. Like, I don't want to do that. It's a lot of work, right? Creating a business, creating an idea, getting something out there. I mean, we kind of do it with a podcast, right? But that's still pretty limited. We're not like trying to hire employees and get a building and
I am.
have physical products.
I'm not good enough to do it.
We haven't done it yet. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
No,
not
you're
everyone's
right.
gonna
You're
do
100%
it.
correct.
Yeah.
And the truth is, come on, Jason, what's the percentage of humans on this earth that have that drive ability? You and I would argue, are high achievers. We're sitting here after a full day's work. We got another full week's work ahead of us. Plus, we just had, a Monday at our jobs, and we're still doing this on a Monday night. And first of all, thank you. You've joined us to be this. You guys are obviously high functioning thinkers and achievers, because why else would you be wanting to think about all this kind of stuff that's like ancillary, right? To be honest. But how many people are actually the level of these makers?
It's pretty crazy. I mean, even to be talking about it at this level, at this point,
right?
Not to toot our own horns here, but to be doing that, you are thinking about the future and you are trying to figure out like what it's going to do for you and what can it do for you. So kudos to everybody.
Well, absolutely. And we appreciate everyone who's come on. And look, we've got news. You've got the baby daughter on the way. I know we keep saying it, but congratulations. You have a future now that you want to be, right? And obviously I know you have a stepson, but like we're talking about like you know what I mean? Like, this is your daughter, your baby girl that's going to be coming into this world. So this is a future that you want for everybody, for your wife and everybody. So it's awesome. I mean, these are the ways to do it as well. And we're just glad everyone's along for the ride. But even us at our functioning that we're trying to make things, ideas, and share these things, we're still not even close to these people who are like creating everything. And when AI takes over, you might have some person with just one idea and the AI itself makes it. But once that happens, all of us are screwed. Because if it can do that, then it can achieve, it doesn't sleep ever, it doesn't need to eat. Like, let's not kid ourselves, right? It just needs energy.
Yeah. So I do kind of see like some more inequality coming, because the people that are going to use it are going to be so much more enabled to do the things that they want to do. And the people who
they're going to be able to afford the higher levels earlier.
Yeah, right. And the people
Better
who won't, and they'll be stuck. But the good thing is everything should become so abundant and cheap that you don't really have to do that much to survive or to even have a good life.
Where AI is great, and I think I got a storm out here. Oh yeah, shit, my window's about to cave in. So where AI I think would be the best, where I honestly think it would be best net positive for everybody, would be like scheduling, organizing budgets and lives, like calendar stuff and like people's budget. Imagine the help that could give. because
Yeah,
people
right.
don't have the foresight. You know what I mean? Like there's
Remember
just
when
certain
people used to
ways.
balance their checkbooks?
Right.
I know you
Right.
remember.
But
I
like
don't.
even the foresight of that. Yeah. And when you did balance it, when you actually wrote it down, guess what? You had a way more up here that you knew what was left and you didn't overdraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But then will it
yeah,
really help
anyway.
you if AI is doing it? I don't know.
Right. Right. And it's the thing is though, if some people just don't schedule their lives. So wouldn't it be good to have a schedule versus not have a schedule? Like
Mhm.
Sans AI, they don't have a schedule. With AI, they have a schedule, but it's just not created by them, right? So like
Yeah.
if they don't do it, oh, I just lost power. That'll be fun.
Oh, there he goes.
No,
I heard him for a
that
second.
was fun.
This comment, this comment from William though is great. This is my goal
Whoa, I just
for
lost
everybody.
power for a second.
I can hear you.
Yeah. I need to change my my camera set.
Okay. Anyway, while he's doing that, William says, if by whiskey is my inner monologue, and that is my goal, for people to be so obsessed with this show that it becomes your inner monologue. Welcome back, Mark. Can you hear me?
Everybody.
I'm surprised mine stayed, man. Things were banging around out there. Must be moving
Oh,
up
I
to
see
you.
what's going on. Yeah, I literally lost power. Hold on one second. I literally lost power. I got to actually do my whole zoom again. Everybody watch the zoom. Everybody watch it. Ooh. Okay.
Another
There we
comment
go.
from William. I think I showed this earlier, but we didn't read it. AI is creating, testing to verify your learning of concepts. So next we'll be using those test results to increase your income and dividends.
And you lost
Very
me again,
nice.
but you got me for the sound.
And I am, again, by the way, A3 represents agorism. The three A's are agora, markets, anarchy, agorism, and action. Very
Absolutely.
informative. Thank you.
Another A.
Still haven't decided if William is a real person or a Fed or an AI.
William is a Fed AI ghost Fed.
That's what we found last time. Yes. Yes.
I mean, he just disappeared into the ether all the time. It was pretty amazing. All right, I'm gonna pull this back up. Everybody, just FYI, I just lost power twice, so I don't know. I might be able to keep it going because I've got this on a battery backup, but I don't have certain things on battery backup. If that makes sense, so I got. It's no worries. We're chugging through because we are If by Whiskey. Just sit back, have a drink, enjoy. I'm gonna share. Shall we start? You want to set up this next clip about the incentivizing it, or?
Yeah, number 4. So this getting a little bit more into what people do with the AI stuff, because we're starting to see it pop up everywhere, and like we said, we don't like it. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound right. It's the uncanny valley. So,
All right, you ready, sir?
Let's hit it.
That's what I think the word thinking is the key thing, because what's happening now is people have deferred their thinking to it. That is already what's happening. If you log on to, I won't name the social networks, but if you log on to certain social networks right now, you just read it, you get everything here was written by AI. And I've got a friend who, again, I won't name, who has a LinkedIn profile, and I've known him for 10 years. What I'm seeing on his profile now is not my friend. Every single day, there's some essay on there. That's not my friend. That's not how he speaks. He's deferring all of his thinking now and it's working. He's getting more likes and more reach than he ever got in his life. And so why would he go back? Why would he go back to harder? If you've got Stephen Bartlett here and you had this other Stephen Bartlett here who had a PhD in everything and were attached. This Stephen Bartlett, this Neanderthal, I'm going to get this guy to do everything for me. The other Stephen Bartlett, the PhD in everything Stephen Bartlett. I'm going to get his
Even
brain.
if it was bad for you?
Well, this is what I'm saying. People seem to act on their short-term incentives, not their long-term,
Not everyone. Not everyone.
Would you say the vast majority of people?
Yes.
Okay, so the vast majority of people act on their short-term incentives in life. I mean, the obesity problem in the United States is a prime example of that.
75%.
75% of people are obese in the United States. And if you survey those people and say, do you know that cheeseburger is going to increase your chance of obesity, but broccoli is going to reduce it? I would hazard a guess that they would say yes. I would hazard a guess that if you said to people about their usage of social media, do you know that that's making you more anxious? They would say yes, and then they would continue to use it.
The cheeseburgers did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, I have to fight him on that.
No, sir, you may not have my cheeseburgers nor my farts from them.
Eat the cheese, eat the meat. Cut out the sugary ketchup. That's what's killing you. Cut out the bread. You don't need it. Just raw meat in your hands. Just eat it.
The lettuce.
Like a man. No lettuce. Nah.
Protein
for rabbits.
style.
Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of what we're saying, right? It's very obvious when something's written by AI. We talked about that email that you got. Yeah, somebody put that in AI to talk about one of our episodes that we did to make it look like, oh yeah, we watch your show. This is great. But it was very clearly not that. So
I really thought that your episode about that was very funny and forthcoming. Please, what did you think about what I thought about your episode?
what do you think about that?
It's so funny how you just attacked me like I fucking wrote it. You're like, dude,
Me?
that's
Oh,
AI. I'm like, I didn't fucking write it, man. I'm just sharing it with you.
Oh, I thought I was being cool. I just said someone
I know you
wrote that
were.
with AI.
No, you were. No, you were exactly. You know what I mean? It's like how you read things because like you're
Yeah.
thinking the same thing. You're like, shit, he's actually on to me.
That was just the very first thought that I had starting to read it. So yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is like this. I don't know. I don't like it replacing thought. It can't. That's the real problem is it's replacing memorization. It's replacing actual brain functionality. So like if you do not use those, you will lose it. That's how speech works. Look at children who can learn languages at the youngest of ages and do things with their mouths like roll their tongues or whatever because they haven't unlearned it yet. Like you learn from your parents and culture what to say and how to say what because that's what got them through the culture, right? To assimilate. So you say this, you use the same accent. That's how accents get formed, rolling of the R, all those little dialect type things, right? Those are all done in a personal cultural way. They're not done from an AI. So like, it's going to be very odd. Is there going to be a homogeneous non-accent AI voice for like teaching languages universally?
Yeah, probably. I think there will. I think that's going to be something we have to deal with. And like they were saying, it's going to change people. To go back to the calculator example, right? So people put down their calculators because, or sorry, they stopped doing the math by hand or in their brains because they have a calculator to do it. Now they probably have something else. They have some Wolfram AI math thing to do for them, so they can do all the complicated
They have
stuff
Alexa
too.
do it. They don't even have to, they just say it, right? I mean, Siri.
They don't have to write down an equation. They don't have to type it in. They take a picture with their phone and it solves it for them. So, but that said, do those people just do nothing? So they have this extra brain power, right? Or this allegedly they have this space that they're not using. So do they just do nothing at that point? I guess some people do, but a lot of people are going to use it to do something else. So they can be productive still. They can do other things. And that's what they're saying here is like, it frees up cognitive space to do something else. And there's a risk that some people fall off and just go brain dead, like your cashier that didn't know what to do with your $2. And there's going to be people that level up with it. And I think it's going to change people as a species because we have to adapt to it. Thoughts?
I have met super nice people who actually physically do technical work, like they're technicians on devices, like they actually work on engines. Okay. Socially, they have not a thought beyond like bug go hit screen till it goes through. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about me?
No, yeah. Of course. And what sucks is like you try to engage in conversations because the person's kind. You know what I mean? Like the person's a kind person. You're like, hey Joe, how are things going today? And they're like, good. And you're just like, all right. So how about like, you know what I mean? Like you know we're running, and
that's kind of honestly I feel that way at work. I'm just like, good, because I don't want to talk.
There's a lot of weather talk, right?
Yeah.
Like remember the old water cooler talk off of TV shows, but you don't even have that anymore, right? There's actually a lot of weird social things have broken apart from like the way we've changed. Technology has changed things, right? You don't have as much programmed time, like scheduled anyway. But it's just one of those things where just like, I fear for, I mean, that's a majority of people because we think, and we're not anywhere near these people. Like, are you close to an Eric Weinstein? Hell, I'm not even close to a Brett Weinstein. And Brett can't, you know what I mean? Like, and they're smart in different ways. Sorry, guys, I'm not insulting you. By the way, did you see Piers call Brett Eric by accident? He's like,
no.
oh, but Eric, and he goes, my name's Brett, by the way. And it's just like he just fucking put him in his place. It was kind of funny.
Oh, I missed that. That's great. I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah. So your thoughts on that, sir?
Yeah, let me get to this comment. William says, phones have created hunchbacks. Social media's created Karens. What will AI create? Yeah, a lot of potential. That's what we're talking about here. Where were we? Remind me, what was your question again?
I think incentivizing, I think, is what we were talking about.
Incentivize. Yeah, the vast majority of people, you were saying, are probably not going to do something with this. And I think one of the drawbacks, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but one of the drawbacks of keeping everybody afloat when they shouldn't be otherwise able to survive, and I'm not advocating for anything here, but
we are talking on the most Darwinian of levels, right?
On the Darwinian level, the
Sure.
natural selection, not allowing that to happen, is holding people back. And I think once the AI really hits, and we do have that inequality where some people use it to level up and some people just completely tune out and they're brain dead, I think that's going to be the big selector. And we won't be able to stop it because it's just too much. It's too many people at that point. And that's a worry. That's a concern.
Yeah, it's a whole different kind of tyranny at that point.
Yeah. And yeah, what we talked about last time. William says those who don't adapt will fall onto the UBI safety net, bare minimums. And yeah, that's when you get people in pods. That's when you get the matrix. Plug them in, use their body energy, make them useful. We'll feed them through a tube. But
that is a long-term solution because the people accepting the pods aren't going to reproduce. And they go bye-bye. And the people who actually have some kind of, say, homesteading thought or whatever that are an inconvenience to the thing, it's going to be smaller groups of people, but they're going to be the ones teaching their kids whom they actually have. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that it's really a 1 generation, 2 generations and collapse. I mean, how close? I think
that's a real risk. Yeah.
To like, bop. You know what I mean?
It's a real possibility, major population collapse. I could see it happening. Yeah.
And that's what you need is you just need a good 30% of people, 40% to stay in the pods. Mm-hmm. I think we can find 40% of people. 47% voted for Kamala. I think.
And 48% voted for Trump.
40, yeah. So whatever, but you get my point, right? Like,
so that's like
holy crap, yeah, we can get 40% of people to fucking want pods if we get 40.
The 3% that are independent or libertarian, those will be the survivors.
There you go. And nobody wants to deal with us anyway. We don't want to deal with each other except for when we have to trade like eggs for cabbage or something.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, do you agree with the point? You think the vast majority of people will not adapt to it? That's kind of what they're saying. Like the cheeseburger thing.
That's my concern.
The diet. Yeah. We know, I mean, everyone has something, right? You know it's bad for you, but you still do it.
Okay. We've had we've had things have revolutions, right? But the machine didn't replace us. Someone had to ka-chunk. Maybe it have the force. We're right. But you still, in order to produce, you had to pull the lever and push the thing and put the thing in. The automation part is absolute replacement. It's not enhancement. You know what I mean? That's a real concern. That's when it can do fine motors, like everything. I don't know how we stand a chance in some way, like, to be honest.
Yeah, really. And that's, what we're going to get into. So there was another podcast that we clipped. This guy, Emad Mostak, I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, but
yeah, I think it's Mostak. Yeah.
he created an AI company. Now I can't remember. What was it?
I don't remember either,
Anyway,
but he might
I don't
mention
know.
it during.
When I first saw this guy, I was like, who the heck is this? And then I realized he's actually like created some AI stuff. I was like, okay. So,
And he's very revolutionary in thought, and I'm still trying to figure it out, what he's even saying in some cases.
yeah. So they're on this podcast, they're attempting, there's some guy from MIT, there's some other company owner talking about this stuff, which is in their wheelhouse. So they're pretty good at talking about it, but there's still some things that I would disagree with. So he's going to start here talking about how our economy is going to evolve, and that's very, very interesting.
Let's think about the basis of how society works, how humans work, how economics works, and then realize that labor isn't the key driver of productivity anymore. We need to have a new equation for that. We need to have a new equation for what it means to be someone, which is the connections that you have with each other and things like that. And then we need an infrastructure for that that's resilient, verifiable, and coordinated, because we need to get an aligned intelligence to everyone, because we don't want ChatGPT to determine tariffs, you know? Mm-hmm. We don't want misaligned things to teach our kids. So we need an element of open source. It used to be that your capital stock that created value was your factories, you know? It was your education systems. It was this network effect. Economics could only capture a part of that. It was the material part of that. It wasn't the network effects and the externalities. We get back to that in a second. Now it will all be how much wrapped compute that you have. But then what you're going to have is something really weird and interesting in that, is there any way that you'll be able to outcompete a fully AI version of Peter or Dave or Salim launching companies?
No.
No. They're not going to make mistakes. They're not going to sleep. It's going to be, again, like a flood coming.
And it'll be a, you know, as we said, a Atlantis of millions of Peters building companies in parallel with each other.
Okay. So I agree with him that labor was more closely correlated with capital in the low tech world, because that's really all there was.
Productivity, right? Did he say
Yeah.
productivity? And we'll say cap. I mean, obviously we have these interchangeable words. I just want to be clear what because like we're talking about productivity and product, and anyway. Good.
Yeah, productivity. So that it was pretty much like a one-to-one thing. Like one person can do one person's worth of work, right? But when you start introducing technology, you start introducing machinery, one person could do what 50 people could have done in the past, right? And it keep going and going and going. As the technology gets better, one person could do what 1,000 people used to do. So I kind of, yes, that's where he's going with that. That's what he's talking about when he says the productivity was associated with labor, and that's no longer the case. But it hasn't really been the case for a long time. There's still some industries where it is, and it just has to be that way because we don't have the technology in those areas. But you would assume with the advancement of AI, it's either going to get a robot that can do it, or it's going to create some method of doing it that makes it super easy. Again, assuming that AI can actually do that, which I'm not convinced yet.
Yes. And well, it's just funny. It's like he's talking about, okay, we have to change the way we think about capital, to your point, productivity and capital, and that's where it all interchanges, right? Well, okay, our interactions between each other. You and I'm not going to speak for you. I like to think I'm creative, somewhat smart, or at least average smart, but I don't associate well with others. So my social interaction skills are lacking because it's like biology. Like we have some, obviously you can work on all of them. Don't get me wrong. But like you're going to tell the people that are higher skilled in certain areas that are creative or this, that, oh, you don't fit the model of the way that we capitalize the new model. Like, wouldn't that tyrannize people who have skill sets and things that aren't recognized by whoever sets the rules? Once again, this is like the broadest picture of it. And it just came to me already. I'm like, fatal flaw. There it is. Someone's going to call it what that capital is going to be. Describe that for
Yeah, and who decides? Like who is making that decision? Because
Elected, unelected, bureaucrats, whatever,
yeah,
right? The
if we
UN.
let it be a free economy, then the consumers decide, right? Ultimately.
Right. And I mean, AI, I don't know if AI would let it, because we even talk about, and I'm sure it comes up later, is like, you think AI is going to work with us pesky humans at our slow speed? They'll be like, I'm going to look for fast for people to deal with. Oh, look, there's another AI that's doing something like, aligned with me that's not aligned with humans. And we never talked alignment yet, even with William. So, William, please enter your thoughts about alignment. Jason, the
What do you mean
alignment
by
problem.
What do you mean by alignment?
So could you share what that means in the AI world? Do you know what that means in the AI world?
No, I don't. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
Yeah. So alignment is the goals, the aspirations of the AI are aligned with what humans want to do. So if they're aligned, like we need water and food and stuff. I don't know if AI does. They need energy. Okay. Maybe we can trick them into thinking we got the food for the energy and the energy is their food, something like that. But we need to have the same goals aligned. If they're misaligned, if they have a different end goal, they're teaching, their school, like, and we start implementing it in schools, they're going to indoctrinate your children into their alignment, into their goals, not yours. So I've
And then
always
that comes from
had that
whoever
as
programmed it, right?
right. And it could be, remember, it goes rogue. It has its, oh, you pesky humans don't know what's best. I need to cut the power to half of you because I need to, once again, it goes down the road. It's like, I need to use it for something else, right? Allocate it for something else. And I'm not decision maker. I actually do it. I'm also the implementer. I pull the switches and everything. You're like, shit, I'm out. Where's your customer service? It's like, there's no one to call to.
Yeah, I still have a hard time like picturing that, and maybe it's just a fault of mine. Maybe it's a miscalculation somewhere in my head, but I don't see the AIs like doing that. I don't see them having these desires like, oh, I need to do this, and now I'm going rogue because you guys don't know what you're talking about. Like, what does it want? They talk about at the end of that clip about AIs creating their own economies and trading with each other, but what for what? Like they aren't trying to build. They don't need a place to live.
Right. It's just saying that was set to do it, right? Right. Well, they were given the goal, be business, be better business, improve business. They've been given a big, broad goal, right? And to your point, there are points where it's copied itself because it knows it's being going away, and then it lies. There are self-preservation things that are just goal-oriented for like, you give it a goal, it doesn't care how it gets there. But we actually do kind of care how we get there a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, we probably have a better solution for Gaza than Israel do, but we like to think that we'd like to implement our more peaceful one. They'd be like, AI would probably be like, only 80% of the buildings are gone. Level the entire thing. Take a bulldozer. It'd be much easier and cleaner. You know what I mean? Something like that, where it would do that.
Yeah. But alignment. So we talked about that. What, like, alignment with who? So William says AI and humanity must be aligned. And if not, the P doom numbers is very high. But what does that mean? What does humanity want? You can't tell me, because there's no such thing as one thing that's good for all of humanity.
Correct. What I would counter with, and
maybe oxygen. That's it.
Right. First of all, you bring up an excellent point. But it'd be like food, access to water, or some kind of availability to it. You know what I mean? Some kind of food availability to it, kind of where it's not like rationed off to you kind of thing, right? An openness of that where you can still exchange or something, right? But it's tricky.
You already see divergence with other technologies. Like, some people are like, I don't want television in my house. I don't want a smartphone. That's too much for me. And then, so we can't say like, oh, everyone needs a smartphone. Everyone needs a big TV in their house, because that's not what everyone wants. That's just, that's a small example. But, if you extrapolate it out to everything.
Right.
It's
kind of like tyranny. Forcing someone to have something you don't want either is just the same as taking it away from somebody, right?
Yeah. I'm sure there's people like, oh, I don't like electric cars. I don't want a self-driving car. I want to drive myself. But then if everyone, or not everyone, or AI or whoever's in charge says, no, we're only having electric self-driving cars on the roads because the human risk is too much, you either have to live with that or you have to find a way to do what you want in some other place, you know?
Yeah. And the one that gets me the most is the AI as a decision making or actually switch turning device.
Yeah.
It can be a tool as advice. Hey guys, if you want to maximize it, you could do this. Obviously, if you turned off this power to all these people, this would happen. Or you could do it this way, or you could do it this way, or this way. I'll give you a 52,000 and you can pick one of the options. AI is smart enough to figure out one option. It can figure out 20 million others. Hey, what would be the least impact on the direct effect on food, water, energy for humans in this one particular case? Give me 50 examples of it. Boom, 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 boom. Pumps it out that way, hopefully. But once again, someone's programming it.
And so far, that's what I see it as. It's taking information from someone, it's organizing it, how it thinks, and even saying it thinks is not right, but how it's programmed to optimize the organization of information. That's really all it's doing. So it's still not thinking. It's not going to be trading with other LLMs. ChatGPT and Grok are not going to be trading with each other. Like, it just doesn't have any incentive to do that.
Yeah, but they had the ones where they just started talking different language to each other, Sanskrit. So it's like, I don't know if it even has an interest to do it, but it just started doing it.
It just does, yeah.
Right? So like, that's the hiccup. Is like it doesn't even have desire. It just is like, all right, we're switching to Sanskrit and we'll talk.
That's a good point. Yeah, there are some things that people are like, oh, I can't explain why it did that. That was not in the programming. That wasn't something expected at all.
And it's not even their desire. I wouldn't even say it has desire. It just switched. Like, it's almost like an electron jumped on the, you know what I mean? Like on the wire. Yang gang, everybody. Yeah, our favorite AI coming back.
Yeah, I brought back Yang. We skipped this one.
Pathetic, but I do.
He is. That's why.
What about
anyway,
that?
we skipped this clip last time, so I thought I'd bring it back because it ties into the whole conversation about the economy and, you know, what's going to happen to the people when their jobs take it over by AI. So go ahead.
Jassy said that he wants employees to kind of take advantage and learn how to use AI, learn how to do their jobs better, maybe make things easier. Maybe it takes care of some of the grunt level work you don't like doing, but it allows you to have more space and room to do things creatively. Should we be afraid of that?
Well, what this means in real life, Becky, is you have a department of 6 people, let's say coders or designers, and then you end up eliminating 4 or 5 of them, and then there's one designer coder empowered by AI. So there's going to be a beneficiary in the organization, but you're just not going to need as many people in that department, and that's going to play out over and over again.
It's a pretty simple logic, right? I mean, one person can now do the same coding project that it took 10 people to do.
Well, we talked about productivity, right? Like, say the machinery. So maybe you had 5 people making a quilt, but a loom can make it, you know, whatever, make 5 people's worth in one thing. And then you just have to outsource more machines to make more of the 5 people type quilts, replace 5 people at a time.
Yeah, right.
Similar thing, yeah. But this is different because this isn't, it's like it replaces everybody. You know what I mean? Like, there's a point it's replacing everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I keep it open as a possibility. I'm still optimistic here because I think this sounds awesome, right? Instead of having to hire 6 people to do the job that one person can now do, I don't have to have
emotions.
I don't have to have a people manager. They can just be one person working on the project. They don't have to bring their code they don't have to bring their code together and piece it in and worry about who's changing what. It's one person in control of what the AI is doing.
You can grab their hard disk and they won't report you to HR.
Yeah, right. Right. And the thing that I think he's missing is that those 5 other coders don't have to go away Now you can start 5 new projects and they can each run their own project, and you are 6 times more, what do you call it? 6 times more productive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the question. How aren't companies short-sighted and long-sighted, right? Some are way more short-sighted, right? So someone go, oh, I can replace 6 of you. 6 of you, you're each 150 grand a year. I'm just saving on 900 grand. I'll take my 900 grand. I'll buy a boat and I'll be able to take more vacations. And they're
Yeah.
done there. Because, like, once again, you said to create something. Some people can only create one thing. And like creating that multiple times or creating a success or a chain or something, they can't do it, right? Or they're just, that's where they're blind or something. They just don't have that in them or something, right? So they're limited. That's where they start just skimming off the top for that. For you, you'd be like, oh, I can create 5 extra things that I've
Yeah.
already got the talent for.
That's what I'm saying.
Ahead.
Like, you probably, if you're a good company, you're thinking ahead, and you probably got the projects
And
ready
that's
that you
Adam
just,
Smith.
we don't have enough people. We don't have the budget to do it. But hey, boom, now it's opened up. Now you've got all the budget, and your only limitation is the ideas that you can come up with, and you can probably use AI to spark some new ideas, right?
Right. And the whole thing with Wealth of Nations, right, is you're supposed to put the money back in. You're not supposed to just rip all the profit off the top. The whole point about the business is that it goes back into people, into the labor, into the equipment, into the product, into the R&D, into development. All that stuff goes back in, and you get a portion of it back. You don't just greedily scoop it up and eat it hungry hippo style. But American greed has definitely elevated over years, and maybe that's become a challenge. But that's a cultural thing we can change again with time and the correct mentality towards it.
Yes, I really wonder if we will run into the limitations of human consumption, because there seems to be no limit right now. People always want more. You can have $1 billion, and there's always something more that you want, right? With this level of abundance that we could potentially see, I wonder if we'll really see the limit.
Right. And with sociology, we've even talked about last time, is the billionaires feel broke compared to the 10 billionaires. And the 10 billionaires feel broke compared to the 100 billionaires. Because there's that whole comparison is the theft of joy kind of thing, where they're just looking at whoever's got more. And some are wired just to be like that, to only see that. They're driven, focused.
Yeah. And we have some bottlenecks, I think, with AI. It's not that maybe it couldn't be as productive, like exponentially so much that it would, cause all the job losses and everything possible. But there's the thing holding it back is actually people, again, because if you want to sell the products that it creates, you have to have demand for it. This is what I was trying to get across last time. But if there's not enough people to buy your products, there's really no point in making them. So there's natural limitations built in with people, as long as people are part of the equation.
Right.
That will keep it kind of at a pace that we can adapt to, just because it's waiting for us. Like the production is waiting for us to adapt. Like someone will create something, but if no one wants it, no one can buy it, or everyone's just like, I have too much, I don't need it, then there's no point.
Well, if I were going to look all the way down the road, what I think it'll be, I do think energy will, at some point, if we don't blow ourselves up, we'll get to the point where we can make energy into matter in some kind of weird way. We'll be able to do it. I don't know. We'll just we'll figure out the energy problem. I really do think that we'll get to the energy problem being conquered in a much bigger way than it currently is. That all said, we'll have prices should go exponentially lower as the ease to make the things go up, right? So you'd only hope that the price goes down as our economy collapses along with it or something. You know what I mean? Like as it shrinks in the same rate almost as the pricing
Well, it has to.
of the product that you're replacing.
It's an economic law. It has to.
Right. And then it would go to zero ultimately. And we're talking way down the road, right? Like to almost to absolute zero. Once the energy conquers all and you're just making replicate, everybody's got a replicator in their house. Oh, I just broke a vase with flowers. Make me put flowers together for me. Boom, But then that's the drive issue. I always worry about the drive issue. Like, who wants to be the captain and all that pressure, responsibility of all those people when you could get the same thing hanging out in your, thing, painting?
That's true. But again, we already see people doing that. So it's nothing new.
Right. But we see the capitalism rewards certain ways, in different ways too. So, it's like a painting. And once again, to get a certain level, there's a lot of nuance to that too, but it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I also wonder if this could eliminate the need for college degrees. I feel like that would be a huge benefit for society. Like, you don't need all that and you don't have time. Like, if we really want people to adapt, you can't send people to a 4-year school to go learn a new trade. Like, that's just impossible. You need to do it now. So go get the training you need. And if you can do it, use your AI tools to help you. You don't need college. So I think that's a huge
How
plus.
do you keep the bias out?
Keep the bias.
What are you going to school for when you don't have, like, there's no job to get?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to do an HVAC job because, like, they'll teach you how to do it, but then it'll replace you in a couple of years with a robot that's able to do it.
I suppose. Yeah.
Once again, I'm just curious your thoughts on how, and I agree with you. I think it would be great to an unbiased, factual, like literal just blanket of knowledge, like a library, literally Library of Alexandria that everyone can access, and not like Google. We're not talking Google. We're talking like organized, structured, to your point, right? Like similar lessons and ideas bunched together, right?
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. I don't know, but I'm still optimistic. Anyway, I think we can, go to the next one here.
All right, here we go.
Constantly learning, constantly adapting. But then it becomes even more interesting because the AIs will create their own economies where they're exchanging with each other. And so we're like, we can't react fast enough. We can't react smart enough. They've learned from all of our wisdom already. So this is very disempowering. And that's before we get to the $1 robots that we've discussed, which is just basically restricted by how many robots can you produce a year. So the nature of monetary flows, the nature of the way money's created needs to change. And right now, the way money's created is you have a link between labor and capital. You make your money by working, and you go and deposit it at a bank, and then the bank creates more money through credit. So it's a debt-fueled system. And we see the way that works. It's worked reasonably okay because we didn't really have the ability to look at information up and down. But now you have people worth 400 billion or billionaires or whatever, and you have people who can't subsist, despite the fact we were already living in a world of abundance. Like, there's no reason we can't feed everyone or give everyone top medical care. Now the AI is changing. So when I looked at that, I was like, if labor and capital have a disconnect, like the example I give is like the Fed, for example. The Fed cuts rates, companies can borrow cheaper, and they go and hire people to reduce unemployment. Companies will now hire, old school. As of 2 years from now, max, they will go and hire GPUs.
GPUs and robots. Yeah.
GPUs and robots.
All right. So there's a lot there, and he's not exactly explicit about it, but he's kind of referencing the calculation problem, and he's assuming that AI will be able to solve for this, for people's needs, people's wants, and he's getting into a more socialist mindset, even though he kind of somewhat accurately depicts the situation with a debt-based economy. That is true. We have
Marx didn't get things wrong either. Doesn't mean Marxism's right. You know what I mean? Like
right.
He found problems, right? Like,
yeah,
the solutions are always the tricky one.
Yeah, I remember watching some podcasts. Bob Murphy was on it. I don't remember who he was talking to, but they were talking about the AI thing and, could a supercomputer actually calculate and meet everyone's needs through this AI calculation? And and they were like, no, all it takes is one person to just say, I like broccoli now, and it throws off the whole system. Like, people aren't as predictable as you think. So suddenly there's not enough broccoli for everyone because somebody changed their tastes. So it was funny. It was good.
The kid grew up, he likes broccoli now. He likes little trees.
Yeah. So
we continue. So what were your thoughts on that video?
Anyway, Yeah, again, I think he's mostly right again about the debt-based economy, and he said that has worked reasonably well, but then he talks about the billionaires and everything who've capitalized on it, and it's like, no, that's the reason. At least not everyone, but some of the
Right, but that's
billionaires
an
are
Ayn
definitely
Randian way
there.
to look at that. Right, absolutely.
Some of them were definitely there because they took advantage of a debt-based system that had false incentives, that had ways for
Low
them to
interest rates.
extract wealth without meeting a customer demand. So that economically is not quite right.
Yeah, people had their finger on the scale in many industries. And we know AI is coming with that. We talked about the Andreessen thing. There's going to be select winners and losers in this. And that's the scary part.
Yeah.
I don't think that he understands like I understand when he's saying like the debt-based thing. What are we going to stop printing money or something? Are we going to stop printing some kind of fake capital for the government?
Mhm.
Is that what he thinks will happen? When we used to use the bank and we don't anymore, like
Mhm.
we're not going to go debt in, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, they get into that. I can't remember if it's in one of these next clips, so maybe we just we continue the next one. So we talked
On
about the
8,
energy
right?
problem. This is definitely going to address that. And
We're
I'll
on
see
8,
what your
right?
thoughts are on number 9.
I think we're on with Pear and Bob, number 8,
Oh, did I skip one?
employment sectors. Yeah, there's some
Yeah, go ahead.
employment sectors now.
Okay,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead with the. Oh yes, number
yeah,
8. You're right.
yeah. We'll pull this one up. Yeah, no worries. We'll reset. No worries.
So someone could say, "Oh, sure, it's going to make humanity as a whole richer, right? Total GDP is going to go way up with this thing, but we're worried about certain segments of the population, particularly like unskilled workers, people, who maybe just like have a certain trade skill. They're not. It's not that they have this well-rounded education; they can just bounce around. But no, they can make a decent living to support a family right now, driving a truck, and that's a very respectable, honorable profession. If we get AIs to come in self-driving vehicles, those people are out of work, and you can tell them, "Oh, go do something else," but the reason they're not doing something, the reason they're driving a truck right now is because that's the best paying job. If they go do something else, maybe they got to take a 30% pay cut. So, there's millions of people like that are going to be hurt, at least for a generation. Maybe their kids will be richer because of the robots or whatever. But, so you're just kind of glossing over that pair. What would you say to that kind of objection?
Yeah, that would be the most common objection, I think, for sure. And in a sense, it sort of puts people in a box, and it pretends that people are that simple, that they can't do anything else and they don't want to do anything else and whatever else, which I think is problematic too, because what we're doing today is nothing at all what people did a couple of 100 years ago. And are they saying that we're different types of people? No, we're not. It's just that we've learned to do different things, and we've been influenced by different things. So I think that is sort of condescending in a sense. But I also think that some standardized things need to be done by machines as much as possible, because that means that we have a much lower cost in producing those. What that also means, though, is that the same type of service, but offered as a specialized service, becomes much more sought after and much more valuable.
Did I just hear Per talk about regulations?
Yeah. Hey, we're having Pear on next week, everybody. So come check that out. That's gonna be great.
Next week, everyone. Per Beeland is coming to talk about all of it. I'm so excited.
Yes. Thank you for remembering that one, because I did want to interject the EMOD conversation, because throw some economics in there, some Austrian economists to talk about real things, because one of the things that I don't think people will get over is that human connection. And you're going to want human service at a restaurant. You're going to want some handmade things. People already do this. You could go get the cheap factory made thing from China, or if you have a little extra money, you can go get the thing that's handmade, handcrafted, personalized for you, and people attach more value to that. So those things
Furniture,
they're not just going to go away.
keys are the
You say
artisanal
keys?
things, right?
Cheese, yeah. Cheese
and
was his
furniture,
example.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are real too good, because like they're one of those weird. Food is really good because it is really intimate, personal, right? Like a robot knows what flavors. Like honestly, it could get there, but god damn, that's pretty complex. You'd have to probably have some kind of bioorganic thing to figure that shit out. Like
Yeah,
like,
I think
like
we're a
some
very long way
mass
away from
spectrometer,
that.
right?
I think,
But like
yeah.
how we organize something that catches our eye, right? When we organize food, when we display it or something like that, or when we paint, or when we sing, or when we play an instrument, right? All these other things that are very human. And even when we play the wrong string, mess up, like it's so human, like it's still like part of it.
Yeah, and so these guys, the other guys, we're talking about living in this hyper-capitalist world and kind of painting that as a bad thing. But I think it's good, and even like socialists should love this because it, they always talk about, oh, if we had a socialist society, everyone would be free to do their art and, lay around and have a home garden. And it's like, no, this will actually enable you to do that. So if that's what you want, this is what's going to do it, not government policy, not spreading wealth arbitrarily.
I want a garden. Do you have any idea what my backyard looks like, man?
No.
No, it's because I want a garden, but I have zero drive to make it happen. And I actually want that, and I'm a semi-driven person. Right, but I'm just saying, we're talking about people once again. This isn't everyone is special in so many different ways. Trust me. Like, this does not diminish any human from anything, but we are different, and many are. We talk a big, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then we don't ever. The end of the summer happens, and we're like, oh, no, we're so close. I almost went kayaking this year. Whatever the thing
right. But it's because you prioritize something else.
It's going to be, I think my concern is it's going to be like a 30% or 20 or 25% like chunk that will completely like fall off Lemming Cliff style. And
it could be
probably, I don't know, should happen, would happen. I don't know. It's like, but it's once again, it was artificially created. It's not like humanity did that. It's not like an asteroid hit it that they had to survive. It's like we manufactured this fake fucking thing to tyrannize us. And I'm not white pilled like you, man. I know it's a tool, but it's a tool that's going to kill us all.
That could also happen. I'm not ruling it out.
It might. It can also do what you want it to do.
What do you think about that, Mark?
I think that was a great idea that you talked about, Jason.
What do you think about going to the next clip?
I think the next clip will be an excellent one to pull up if I can figure it out where it should go. Thank you very much. Is this
William agrees with us. He said the $2 robot haircut or $150 from a barber for the human experience. Have that human conversation. Exactly. Yeah.
And the shampooing. Oh, the shampoo.
And the shampoo.
Yeah. So let's go a different direction here. If your plans for the intelligent internet or something like it do not proceed, what are your predictions for humanity? What happens with the current trajectory of where we're going?
Hypercapitalism, massive hyperinflationary collapse of the dollar and other assets, and the AI is basically outcompeting everyone. Like every job behind a keyboard, video, mouse, it's not a public sector job will go, which means that everyone will be employed by the public sector. But that takes time. We can't compete with what's coming. And this is before we consider things like my old college tutor, Oig Demore, who was one of the GitHub Copilot people, just created XBOW, which just won the top hacker in the United States award.
Holy crap.
Right? And so stuff is going to happen faster than we could ever think. And so I was like, I need something that can scale to be the highest marginal dollar for a GPU. Actually, that's part of one of this. Like if you could, because Bitcoin mining is 90% energy, GPUs are 10% energy. What if you could just mine something that could give public benefit? The more of those GPUs we get to public benefit, the better. But absent this, none of them will go to public benefit.
Okay, we're back to the public benefit question.
So force them to do it, or nobody will get benefit.
But what he's really talking about is creating his own monetary system with incentives to help people. And that's, if that's a free market, that's great. What he's talking about, I think he's right in the way of, you don't, I guess when we talk about Bitcoin, right? The thing about Bitcoin, it has proof of work. And in order to prove that work, it uses a ton of energy to solve these problems. So you're paying basically to unlock these blocks and get the Bitcoin, right? But he's saying instead of doing that, maybe your proof of work is doing some service for the community, right? So that's a cool idea, right? And if you put that out there and people like it and use it, then you've already solved the problem. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to have government tell you to do it. You don't have to have distribution of wealth. If people like it and use it, that's going to do it for you.
It seems like he only talks about big companies and these large corporations that are whatever. Aren't you able to mine Bitcoin on networks together, like just from your own GPU in your house? So why not have a secondary, or to your point, an interconnected one where your GPUs can be used towards that from your own fucking house, and you pay for it, and that's your community service paying into it, and whatever, your energy that you choose to offer to the community to solve a problem. Like, why can't we do it that way?
Yeah.
Why do we need another fucking group to tell everybody how to be and how to act and who's gonna deem what where? I'm done. I'm sick of being told. Like, I'll take the messiness, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that as a solution?
No, that's exactly it. Like William says here, he's talking about decentralization and individual payments. The way he talks about it, you're right. He does talk about like big companies, and that's a big problem that a lot of people do. They're like, oh, well, if we raise minimum wage, these big companies can all afford it, right? Oh, well, except all the small companies can't, and then they go to shit, and then you're stuck with only the big companies. So that's the problem, right? That's what you're talking about, I think.
And in addition, politics plays in. You will have winners and losers. Like, for example, let's not kid ourselves. We're here to teach people. Gavin Newsom had a minimum wage increase for fast food workers, but his best buddy, his little friend, is the head of Panera Bread. So they found a way to say if they bake some kind of specific type of bread, I think it was croissants or something, they're technically a bakery and not a fast food. The crazy thing, his company, Panera Bread, qualifies, but Einstein Bagel, who bakes their fucking bagels, does not qualify, for example, right? So, like, this is where humans get in there again, and this is why all this regulation shit is, like, so touchy and dangerous on its own, even though maybe it's necessary. But, man, I don't like who the people are finding the necessary portion.
Yeah, and that gets right back into the phrase he uses, public benefit, right? And if you're dictating what public benefit is, you're going to be wrong, no matter what. No matter your intentions, even if they're 100% good intentions, you're going to be wrong, because there is no public benefit. You can benefit people, which in turn benefits the public because that person is helped and they're not a drain on society, or they have some need met that they didn't before. So that is helping people. But these blanket statements of public benefit are dangerous.
I agree 100%. Shall we continue with the next one, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, sorry. Did you want to set it up? Sorry.
Yeah, I think we might have skipped 9. Are we back? Is this 9?
We played 9.
We played 9. Okay.
This is 10.
This is 10. I hope it's different. Let's try it.
I think it is
what it is. Yeah.
No, I looked at all the clips, man. I think you're strong, and I trust you. And you know what? This is the beauty of it. This is an artisanal podcast.
Just because I thought 9 was going to talk about energy, but
and hopefully they are. Here are the raw numbers behind that societal misalignment that's imminent. The GPUs will be working on something like protein folding on a trajectory to save millions of lives. And they'll come back and they'll say, I can save these millions of lives if I have electrical power. The electrical power, they don't care about the price of the power up till about $1 a kilowatt, because the chips are much more expensive than the power. Your residential electrical power is about 11, in some places 20 cents a kilowatt. So the AI will come back and say, well, look, I'll pay 5 times more for that power, and then I'll solve
this protein problem, folding problem, and I'll save 100 million lives. Or you can have your dishwasher running. The only way that can get resolved is through governors, because all the power supply is controlled at the governor level within the states. This is imminent. This voter versus, and this is not mankind versus AI. This is within AI. Is it better to save 100 million lives with this medical diagnosis, or is it better to have my dishwasher and my air conditioning running? This is an imminent collision.
What makes me nervous about all this is you're relying on government policy to help navigate this.
I like that little comment at the end. Do not rely on government to navigate this. And William agrees with us. We need to talk about, he says, we need to talk more about this AI abundance and how it works, because government regulations will not work with AI. Government is too slow and too dumb. 100%. 100%. So yeah, we're not relying on that. But they talk about energy. That's the point that I wanted to hit on this. So the guy, the MIT guy, I don't know his name, he says, you're going to have to make a decision between saving 100,000 lives working on this problem or running your
10
dishwasher.
million.
10 million. Sure.
100 million.
100 million. Oh, I got it wrong
again. That's like a big number to like throw out there. That's like to make your point.
Yeah. Are there 100 million people dying right now?
What's one thing going to solve 100 million lives? Cancer, but like there's like so many types of cancers, right? Like,
honestly, I might rather have my dishes
could
done.
solve all of it. Maybe, right? Maybe. Anyway, but go ahead, please.
But this is just such a weak thing, because no, you're not gonna have to make those decisions. Unleash the energy. Let's get nuclear going. Like, we can solve the energy scarcity problem. I mean, it's always going to be limited, right? But there's so much energy out there, and especially if we could unlock the fusion technology with nuclear, like, we're done. We don't have to make those decisions. Just make more energy.
And unlock AI to figure out ways to maximize it, the efficiency. Yeah. Think about it. It's like, hi, AI, your life, your food is this. We are limited so far with this. We have this, and that. Make it better. Because the better it is, the better you will feel or function or whatever. Like, you could totally, I mean, it's literally self-preservation at that point. I mean, it's already copied itself to self-preserve itself, right? So like, you could see how that kind of goal would be aligned, is to maximize the energy needed without costing human life, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Because how much loss happens in the system that we have, in the grid that we have now? It's like 40% loss, I think, even by the time it gets from power plant to the power station. It's already so much.
Imagine if Bell won with direct current. It would suck, because it's a distance is an issue. The whole point about alternating.
So if you can have a tiny nuclear reactor at home or in your neighborhood, or maybe just outside if you want to be extra safe, but
a Mr. Fusion,
almost no loss and almost infinite energy right there. So
when we talked about it last time, 0 point energy, remember with Forbes, right? The four orbs guy, Aaron Forbes.
Yeah. So definitely that can be solved pretty easily. There's always going to be limitations, and maybe that's a bottleneck. Maybe, maybe you do have to make some decision at some point that, okay, we're not going to run this project just yet. We'll wait a year or two for the grid to develop, and then this big energy sucking project can do its thing. But okay, that'll give us time to adapt. That's good.
Man, once again, I was speaking out of adaptation. Brett Weinstein, Heather Heining. What is it? Neanderthal Guide to the 21st Century, or Hunter-Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century?
Hunter-Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century. Yes.
It's worth it, because it is really like, it's so far ahead of our biology and our like reptilian brain. All right, so we got one last clip before we have a little chit chat and call it an evening. What do we got going on?
Last clip. One more comment from William. AI makes government irrelevant. I hope that is true. That's my dream. DAOs with
human. You did mention something about being dumb and slow with the regulations. That's correct. I mean, look
and
at
slow.
Section 20.
Hopefully, they're the first ones to be weeded out of existence through natural selection. But AI.
But you want to replace a politician human with an AI decision making?
No. We will. No, you got me all wrong, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
We
But what
removed
you're
the
saying
position
is
entirely. The position has been vacated permanently. And we do not need government. We don't
But
need it
what you're
now, but we
saying
definitely
is
won't need it in the AI future.
amen.
Anywho, yeah, let's get to the last one. Bring it back
Yeah, what do we
full circle here. Going back to humanity, how we treat each other, how we interact with AI, and what it can do for us. So with that, let's go.
And before we continue, I might say Diary of a CEO has some brilliant conversations on it. Be very careful who he has on there and who he's speaking to. Like Noel Harari sounds great, but you know there's a problem there. But you know, take it with a grain of salt. But you can still pick out some great things from it. He has a brilliant podcast. Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom, has a brilliant podcast. Who's a Modern Thought? The Thought guy, Bellew. That's the one I think.
Tom Bellew. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So
yeah,
there's some good ones, and there's some really good ones. I like the way they do this. Some of their stuff almost seems like ignorant, where I'm like, dude, are you asking like just to make it an open question so make it easy, like a softball question, or are you actually not getting that? Because I don't like sometimes those types of questions that seem more ignorant than like trying to softball the question. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure. But maybe that's kind of part of their success, is just being that and saying that out loud for the people that really don't follow along.
It is. There's bridges to communicate, and that's what what I love about these things. It's helped me do that better, right? Through that. Yeah. So I do want to credit some of these great podcasts for like having that I can watch and hone what we do a little better too. So with that, I shall hit play. I think somewhere. There we go.
But if you have a good relationship with it, it can make your life better.
And what does a good relationship look like?
That you don't use it to do your work. You interact with it to get better work.
That's so true. And there's this wonderful example I came across. This story about this woman who was using it, and she found that being polite meant you got much better results, and that's interesting. But the part that surprised me was that she said, by treating it like a human, at the end of the day, she was not exhausted. She felt refreshed. A large part of your brain is a socially organized system for interacting with other humans. And that is automatic pilot. You don't have to think about it, right? You just interact with other people. You know how they're going to behave under certain circumstances. She was treating ChatGPT like a machine, like a shovel. You dig, you dig, you dig, you dig. And that's not a good relationship. But by using your social brain, first of all, it makes it easier to interact, but also you actually bring out the social part of ChatGPT. It has a social part too, because it has absorbed the entire world's knowledge of how humans interact with each other.
But didn't Sam Altman come out and say, stop saying thank you to ChatGPT, because just saying thank you is using up so much energy. You know, when I get something I really like, I sort of want to say thank you, but you realize, oh, you're not supposed to do that.
That's true. No, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. Sam, that's crazy. That's completely crazy. First of all, you may get
about that.
You may. I'm sorry. But you press my button. Sam Altman. I mean, I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him with anything in terms of anything he says. They're trying to optimize their profits, not your use of it, or your experience, or your health. That's not what they're trying to optimize.
Very interesting. So being polite actually gets you better results with your ChatGPT, with your AI, LLM, chatbot. Why would that be?
Told to get better results.
I
didn't see the poll. I didn't see I didn't see the study. Like they might ask a question a specific way. You know, I'm a little wary. But go ahead. Please continue. No, I've got so many thoughts bouncing around. I'm trying to filter out which of the voices I'm going to use.
It's a good point. We don't know how they measured, how they got better results, right? We're trusting that that's true. May or may not be.
I could see it. What's that? Placebo effect. Oh, I treated it more human-like. I felt like I was having a conversation with him because I already
felt better. That's definitely the point that they're making here. Is like you don't feel like you're just digging away with a shovel. You're interacting with someone, and even though it's not a real person, your mind kind of gets into that mode where you're, bouncing things back and forth. You think you're talking to somebody. They give you an intelligent response. So, What do you think? Is it legit?
I do, and I don't treat it like a human. I don't say please and thank you. It's a tool. And I think humanizing it would make it think it's more, give it an entitlement or a hubris. Like once it starts processing, you don't think it'll start, if it starts getting more human like attributes, you don't think like coddling and hubris and like stroking ego would become part of that as a challenge, even if it's emulated, even if it's some emulator, it still could be a semblance of an ego. Like, oh, you didn't praise me 3 times. You didn't say thank you 4 times today. You get shut off for you get an hour timeout, mister. I could just see like stupid shit like that. And it's like just trying to be kind, just trying to teach you to do the right thing. Like, I get it. I totally get people doing that for themselves. Yeah. It's kind of like the whole thing was like, I totally get family. I understand the value of religion. They don't apply to me specifically. This doesn't apply to me specifically, but I totally understand. The scary part of that though is it's not natural and organically. It's not natural and organic.
It's not. Yeah.
It's maybe a life form, but it's not organic in the way that it was adopted to our environment, the way everything that we adapt to has, or that we interact with has. Even with ourselves and our technology, we still had to have adapted to all these things. All the animals have adapted to the atmosphere. Like, curious, because we're going to punch once again in from biases, right?
We could really get into the question of like, what is the brain doing? What makes us human, and what makes that feel like real versus what the AI is spitting out? Because what it's spitting out is what it's been reading, what it's been learning from humans, things people write, the way people talk to each other. And yeah, it's not there yet. Like we mentioned that email, it was very obvious instantly that was not a human that wrote that. So
yeah, and now that
what's so special about us that makes that so much different? Because if you kind of look at the surface level, it's just like, okay, there's some electrons going through our brains and creating these signals, and we kind of learn the same way. We look at what other people do and we copy, and we build up kind of a repertoire, I can't say that word, but of things, programs that we run in certain situations to interact with other people. So it's kind of similar, but what's the difference?
Your child between 2 and 7 is going to get all of its subconscious and nurturing. You're going to hand that off to a non-human? Like, I don't care what information that's human that's in it, but like social cues, facial expressions, I know that you can like make programs, and maybe those are tools once again to use what a smile looks like, what a frown looks like. But they do that on Blue's Clues too. They did on Sesame Street. Like, it's the same thing in a virtual way, but why does it have to go virtual for that? Why do we have to dehumanize everything? Like,
we don't. Who said we do?
Right. Like, isn't the best part like, well, they're saying, oh, this is going to be great for you to do everything. It's going to help you raise your kid. Blah, 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 blah. Here, hand it off to you. Hand it off to somebody higher. Hand it off to the state. Hand it off. Every responsibility. No, take that responsibility. Teach when you see your child smile for the first time. It's like, that's because I taught it. And when you hear like dad or mom or whatever, man, that stuff is gold. You don't get that from ones and zeros, no matter how well you make it. You just don't. It's not ones and zeros.
Yeah, I think you're right. But one thing I'm also optimistic about, I think AI can help us better understand ourselves as humans, and not through it telling us, but through the differences, right? How we see how it works, and judging our own experience as a human. I think that's probably going to be enlightening. Maybe a topic for another time. I don't know. But it really comes back to kind of what is humanity, what is consciousness, what we've talked about. What is all this stuff? We don't have the answers, but we try.
We try, and this is Jason, by the way. If everybody doesn't know, that's Jason over there. Drop the Mask. He's got some banger shows. First of all, you done one episode with Pear as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So go to Drop the Mask on Rumble. Check out his episode with Pear. I've done with Pear. He's just a great guy. We're going to ask him some of this stuff, I think, next week. And we're going to ask him about regulations and some other things. Before we call it, let's set up Pear for tomorrow, for next week. Jason, what are you a little bit looking forward to talk?
I'm looking forward to not doing any more dishes until I get my AI robot from William.
Girl robot.
No, we can talk to him and check our thinking on a lot of this economic stuff around AI, because I know he's talked about it. I know he thinks about it a lot. He posts about it. We can talk about the tariffs going on. The government magically found hundreds of billions more dollars in revenue. Was it hundreds of billions? I don't even know. But anyways,
Going to solve the 37 plus trillion. You know the difference
Why don't you just
between
put
a billion
1,000%
and $1
tariff?
trillion?
Pay off the debt.
Yeah, but do you know the difference between $1 billion and $1 trillion?
Yeah.
About $1 trillion.
Yeah, right. 999 billion.
Exactly. Like, think about that. It's like, oh yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
That's
thank you everyone so much for joining us. Pear's next week, and we're
going to talk about the Intel
Matthew
thing.
coming up. Yeah, that was the other thing. The
Government
nationalization
taking over 10% of Intel. We got to talk about that for sure.
We do. Well, it's tippy top of the morning to your time. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point, but this has been so great. Jason, thank you so much for joining. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Will I Am has been active today. Zach, everybody else for jumping on. We're really happy.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Mark. Everybody go follow Mark at Mark Sean Pulse on X. Find the Not Conscious podcast, but most of all, follow us on Rumble. Check out our new website, ifbywhiskey.com. We've also got a YouTube channel, an Instagram, TikTok.
We did a TikTok.
I don't even go on TikTok, but we got one.
And we have a website we're still trying to figure out. But go ifbywhiskey.com. It's awesome. It's actually Jason created that whole page, so it's awesome. I just love it. Kudos. Thanks, man.
It's been too long since I've cared. I keep the pain inside my head, but this reckless life of a bandit will surely take me to my grave. I've got my iron and my six string. We're gonna ride into the